Hey guys, we're here at Go for Game with Carson, our Salamangreat enthusiast. So you got Gazelle back to 3. How are you liking it for the new
Full
format?
power. Same as always, right? It's always just like at least an alright deck. It's playable. My opinion on any support is that I don't like it, but if you play it, if it works for you, it works, right? But I personally don't like it. The link for me is just too easily like telegraphed, so people, if they just negate it, then you just end on one trap and it's kind of doomed. I don't like fire because if it locks out of fire, it just locks you out of a lot of stuff. If you get negated halfway through your combo after you resolve fire, then you can't even pivot into heat soul. So that's my opinion on it. The only support I'm sort of like willing to try out, but I haven't done it yet, is a Weasel. But yeah, otherwise Salad's like solo just alright.
Awesome. Well, I guess before we get to the football, I just wanted to give you a Team Sam Supreme
Thank
Pro
you.
Slates. You can use my discount code for 10% off. But yeah, let's just get right to the list.
So first off, 3 Gazelle. This is beautiful.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Finally.
He's bringing it back. Let's go. Yeah, so this card's crazy. The consistency boost is just nice, right? So you try to resolve this as much as possible. Try to make your Baguska lines and everything and whatnot. So get your traps. It's crazy, right? Back to 3. Not much to say about this. Next, for the next 3 names, always I think like anything between 2 to 3 is fine. So I do 2 Spinny, 2 Foxy, and do 2 Jaguar. I don't think doing one of any of these is like the greatest idea, especially if you're running Desires. But 2 of each is fine. It's like a nice balance of drawing them as much as you want, and even if you like banish some stuff with what's gonna call it, Desires, you at least still have like some other like level to work with, right? So if you banish like all your spinnies, you at least have your Foxy or something like that. So 2 of each is a nice balance. You don't need. I think 3. Sometimes you break a bit on it, and I like the space that having 2 of each gives. Next, you do 1 Falco, 1 Foul. 1 of each is pretty standard. Well, Foul is sometimes not played, but if you play it, one of it is nice. Foul is nice to make a rank 4 plays. It's also good to help go into the OTK if you want to lock some back row. Falco is pretty good to set back your some traps, especially if you made it with Baguska and they out your Baguska, you can set back some spell trap like Circle. So that's also pretty nice interaction. Next, you got your 3 Buffalo, 3 Exceed. If you're playing Salad with Fire, then I don't think you play Flame Buffalo because the normal sort of clash, but I way prefer the draw power from Buffalo. Exceed is just crazy. Listen, it makes 2 bodies. Like it's more than just for the rank 4s, right? It helps you go for the OTK. It's one of those cards that your opponent doesn't like want to let go, but they kind of have to let go just because like there's better choke points, but this is just like really good. Next, so that's all the monsters. Next we got 3 Circle, not much to say, Zeroda, no mining. So I think I said the last time, but it's really just like, it goes neg 1, especially like if you try to like, if you're turn 1 player and you open with like Sign and Mining, you pitch something like really awkward, and then they ash it, then you kind of just bone with like 3 cards in hand. And the truth is we actually don't even really need Gazelle to like win games anymore, so like the whole idea of like trying to get Gazelle at all costs is like not really it. We're a rogue deck, we need any card in our hand so everything counts. Next, I played 2 Will. 2 Will is really nice to let you play through your normal. If they book a Moon you and you still have Will, at least you can still play if you have another name in hand. This is really good to keep playing through your, like if they pop your normal or anything. The soul charge effect is also kind of crazy, but that one doesn't come up as much as that you would think it would. The 1 Sank, pray you don't hold, you don't draw it. 1 Rage, 1 Roar. I think one of each is the like what's standard, but I understand if you really wanted to play more than 1, but otherwise 1 of each is pretty good. Next we got 2 Desires. I think especially now that Gazelle's back to 3, like you really should be playing both copies of Desires because you're really not afraid of banishing anything. And if you just think about it, if you do Buffalo, Desires, and Heat Soul, that's draw 6, which is like a really funny number. And then if you also play Phantasme, that's even draw up to 8, right? So that's pretty funny. Next, the hand traps. This is like you just play whatever, right? So all the extra space. So I got 2 Mourner, 2 Ash, 3 Droll, 2 Crow, 3 Veiler, 2 Infirm. This is supposed to be a 2nd Ogre. I forgot to change it for one of the Jolt or for something else. I just wanted to like mess around with the hand traps. There's not much to say. Just play whatever you think is good in the format. If you just fill up all the empty space. Total right now I have 42 cards. I think that's a really good like amount. Even though you increase the like 42 to 40, it's not too big a difference. especially once now that Gazelle's back to 3, the consistency is still there. Extra deck. We got 3 Balinces. I see some people playing 2. Put them back in. All right, it has to be 3. I don't think you really need to have 3 at all times. The grind game is like everything starts with Bailings. Some people play Charge as a solution to playing 2 Bailings. I don't agree with that. I already don't really like Charge as a card. Just play 3 Bailings and it's just that easy. Next, we got 2 Sunlight Wolf. 2 is not a standard, obvious for sure. If you play 3, I think that's really correct too. But 2 also works really well because as long as you have like Jack Jaguar and some other name, then you can keep on recycling the second one. If one of them does get banished, then you can still do other plays like Heat Soul. You can do Babuska. You can do Access Code, and if you have like Roar, you can still like set it back, and then you still have the Omni, right? So 2 is not the worst. It's actually really good. I like it at 2. Next, 2 Heat Leo to shuffle back some back row. The attack modification comes up sometimes, not always, but it's a jack of all trades. So if you can use that as an out, it's nice. 1 Almirage. This one doesn't come up every game, but if you need to normal summon a hand trap just to get a name on the field, or it's also like sometimes funny if you like brick with like Exceed and 4 hand traps, you can at least make a Baguska or Heat Soul. It's really just for the grind games. If you like have like if all your names are in the grave and you just have like a hand that's just like hand traps, at least you can put something on the field to get everyone in there alive. Next, you got the 1 Mirage. You don't need to run more than 1. Similar to like having like 2 Sonic Wolf. If you have Jack Jaguar, then you can just recycle this whenever. The bounce effect is also really nice if you need to bounce something without having to like use the fire lock, the summon from deck. Yeah, this one is great. Got the same old Baguska. This card is MVP as always. Admittedly, it's not exactly the best format where now that like people are running Book of Moons and Eclipses, Baguska is sometimes a little shoddy, but you know what? He's still crazy. Next, we got a Splash Mage Heat Soul, draw 2, profit. Not much to say. If you get negated halfway through, or you sort of break on hand traps, at least you can draw 2 anytime. And then you got the Update Jammer Access Code package.
No, this one? I think it might be pretty good this one.
Yeah, I need to find a space for $1. So for side deck, I got 3D Barrier, 1 Feather Duster, 2 Nibiru, 3 Dark Ruler, 3 Gozen, and then 3 Evenly. So all pretty like standard stuff, but I do need to fix it for this format.
Awesome. Well, thank you again so much for the deck profile. Any last shout outs?
Shout out to Edward Tong, Eric and William, and the Yu-Gi-Oh community in Montreal, and Go for Game.
Awesome. Thank you.